if there is an instructor note in your zyBooks, always be sure to read those because those are additional instructions that we felt were helpful. So first of all, the simulations and the animations in this particular module are very important. You are being introduced to what's called a function. Your instructors might also call a function a method. Both of those names mean the same thing, basically, in programming. And so when these animations run, you're going to see visually that it processes through each of the steps and gives you a very good idea of what we call the transfer of control. So you saw how the transfer of control in this situation goes from main over to what we call this function. And then the transfer of control comes back to main. So be sure to be using your animations in this particular module. Now we are going to take a look at the challenge activities. In the challenge activities, when you go to process these, first of all, always pay attention to the example before you click start. So in this example, it says that it's printing you are 19, but we don't see any of that code here in this flowchart. That's because we need to toggle between main and this function. So in the function is where you see the output. Put you are and then the user age. So you are going to need to toggle back and forth between these two segments of code. This is what we call main, and then the second one is a function. When you go to start your challenge activities, you'll notice it's not going to be the same as the example. So age to print is 22. Print age is the function that's being called. 22 is the argument that's being passed. When we go to print age, it's going to print she is. There is no carriage return or escape sequence, the /n. There's no return. So then user age is going to be on the same line. I think it was 22. And I'm going to click check. I am successful. So the point here is you are going to have to toggle many times between these windows in order to successfully complete your challenge activities. If we go to the next level, we now have product price is a variable that's assigned 17. Tax amount is 4. I'm going to call the method print price, and I'm going to send it 17 plus 4 because I'm adding those two. That's going to be 21. So when we get to print price, it's going to output price $$21, but I'm going to get it wrong on purpose and click check. So it says it's wrong, a couple of reasons. One, I put a space in that was extra, and it was supposed to be 21. So now when I try it again, those values have now changed. So please note that the values will change as you are progressing through. You want to be careful that you don't enter the amount that you had previously calculated because now they're giving you new values. So we have one more sample exercise I want to kind of step through a little bit, and this is in the functions calling functions section 3.2 participation activity. This particular code has a main and it has two functions. You want to pay attention to these variables that are over here on the right hand side. We're going to go ahead and enter execution on this. And there's two ways. We haven't used it a whole lot, but you can use the step through to go through one line at a time, and it's going to trace the variables for you. And then when it jumps to the function or method, if you hear me call it that, it means the same thing. You're going to see it step through that logic, and you're going to see the variables here change. So if you look, that variable that came in as a parameter, the 12, came in as a parameter, and then it gets used and it calls the next function. So you're going to see this code use a function within a function. You're calling a function within a function. And then it's going to step through that logic. You're going to see the transfer of control go back to pizza calories. So pay attention to this marker that's happening up here at the top, as well as the code here at the bottom. And then it's going to transfer back to main, and it will have finished execution. So when you are doing your participation activities and challenge activities, pay attention to the multiple files that are now being used. Pay attention to the variables here. It's going to show you the parameters. It's going to show you the return values, etc.